Welcome to Podcast Growth Tactics by Potter. I'm thrilled you're joining us today. This show brings you practical tips and growth hacks to take your podcast to the next level. Our insights come from analyzing over 1 billion data points from podcasts worldwide. In each episode, we'll cover topics like email marketing, SEO, paid ads, and so much more. You'll discover proven strategies to connect with listeners, improve your visibility, and craft captivating content. We're on a mission to help you grow. So drop us a review on Apple Podcasts if you enjoy the show. It really helps us out. Now, let's get into today's episode where we'll explore 5 innovative ways to drive more traffic to your podcast. All right, our first growth tactic is one you may not have considered: Reddit. Now, before you dismiss it as just another social media site, hear me out. Reddit is home to over 100,000 active communities centered around every topic imaginable. There are dedicated groups of people out there right now discussing the same things your podcast covers. The key is tapping into these communities authentically. Provide value by commenting on posts, sharing insights, and building relationships. Once you've established yourself, occasionally mention your podcast if it adds to the conversation, but don't overtly self-promote. Now, digging through countless Reddit threads would be overwhelming. This is where Gummy Search comes in handy. It's a tool that lets you track keywords related to your podcast across Reddit. You get alerts when relevant conversations pop up. Here's how it works. First, you'll create an audience of subreddits in your niche to filter out noise and see the most relevant discussions. Next, you can search for phrases like podcast recommendations to find threads where you can suggest your show to listeners seeking new podcasts. You'll also want to monitor keywords related to your genre, topic, competitors, anything relevant. Gummy Search will notify you when new conversations come up so you can jump in. Another great feature is setting up alerts for your podcast name so you can respond to mentions and feedback from listeners. The key is to share your podcast when it directly answers someone's request or fits into the discussion. Provide value beyond just posting a link, and be sure to check in routinely to build relationships and compound growth over time. Gummy Search removes the manual work of finding these conversations across Reddit. You get notified of opportunities to connect with potential listeners right as they happen. So if you want to tap into the conversations of your target audience, it's an invaluable tool. It turns Reddit dialogue into consumer insights and qualified leads. Our next growth tactic is guaranteed to get listeners excited: contests and giveaways. Now, I know as podcasters we focus a lot on our content, but sometimes you need to shake things up to spark interest. Give your audience a little something extra for their loyalty. And who doesn't love the chance to win something for free? By running creative contests and giveaways, you amplify buzz around your show. For example, what if you gave away a subscription to the meditation app, Calm, to one lucky reviewer? Or offered a video call with hosts for the 100th subscriber? Get those creative juices flowing. Offer enticing prizes that tie into your podcast topic, and don't just post it once and move on. Hype up the giveaway across social media and email lists leading up to it. Pro tip: require contest entries to rate your podcast for extra reviews. Offer bonuses for sharing the giveaway with friends. More entries equals more exposure. Contests get current listeners engaged. But giveaways also draw in new fans from outside your existing reach. People love discovering new shows with fun perks. So put on your prize hat and get imaginative. Contests and giveaways boost reviews, social shares, and overall buzz. Time to make some noise. Our next growth tactic is guaranteed to get listeners excited: contests and giveaways. Now, I know as podcasters, we focus a lot on our content, but sometimes you need to shake things up to spark interest. Give your audience a little something extra for their loyalty. And who doesn't love the chance to win something for free? By running creative contests and giveaways, you amplify buzz around your show. For example, what if you gave away a subscription to Calm or Masterclass to one lucky reviewer, or offered a video call with hosts for the 100th subscriber? Some other creative ideas could be providing free tickets to a live recording, a box of merch, or a personalized shout out on an episode. You could even give someone a chance to guest host. The key is to offer prizes that tie into your podcast topic and get those creative juices flowing. Don't just post it once either. Hype up the giveaway across social media and email lists leading up to it. Pro tip: require contest entries to rate your podcast for extra reviews, and offer bonuses for sharing the giveaway with friends. More entries equals more exposure. Contests get current listeners engaged. But giveaways also draw in new fans from outside your existing reach. People love discovering new shows with fun perks and prizes. So put on your prize hat and get imaginative. Contests and giveaways boost reviews, social shares, and overall buzz. Time to make some noise. Our next tactic for growth may require reaching out beyond your comfort zone, collaborating with other podcasters. Now, this might sound counterintuitive. Why work with your competition, right? But by collaborating with shows in similar niches, you can expand your reach exponentially. The name of the game here is cross-promotion. Find shows covering topics aligned with yours and propose cross-promoting each other's episodes. Even a quick shout-out can introduce your show to a whole new audience. And allowing other hosts to share their episodes on your feed taps into your built-up listener base. For example, if you've got an interview-style podcast, you could set up a guest swap. You interview their host one episode, they interview you the next. Or do a joint episode on a shared topic. Co-hosting builds credibility and gives both shows access to two audiences. When reaching out, focus on podcasts with engaged but not huge followings. The host will be more eager to collaborate, build relationships in the podcast community. Now here's a pro tip. The Podder platform makes it easy to connect with other podcasters for cross-promotion opportunities. You can join for free and get weekly matches of shows to partner with. Cross-promoting allows you to tap into audiences you'd never reach alone. Form strategic partnerships and leverage tools like Podder to unlock the power of collaboration. All right, time to switch gears. Our next growth tactic involves getting listeners active and engaged with interactive content. Now you may be thinking, isn't the podcast itself the content? But complementary content off the podcast feeds can be powerful. I'm talking quizzes, worksheets, even calculators. Interactive content that requires listeners to visit your website. For example, create a quiz matching podcast quotes to hosts, or a worksheet summarizing key lessons from episodes, even a calculator like determining ideal plant spacing for a gardening podcast. These compel listeners to take action beyond just hitting play and drive traffic to your site from podcast platforms. Once on your website, listeners can explore show notes, discover patron offers, even sign up for email lists. The key is making companion content exclusive and enticing. Don't just rehash episodes, make interactivity essential. So get creative with quizzes, tools, and worksheets. Craft companion content listeners won't find in your podcast feed. Then watch as it attracts audiences to your website for further engagement. For our final tactic, let's talk about tapping into platforms beyond your podcast feed. Don't just keep your content siloed in one place. Repurpose it to draw growth from communities your audience already uses. For example, Highline History has blown up on TikTok by sharing short 30-second to 1-minute clips. They use viral sounds, hashtags, and captions to gain new listeners. Or take the Charting Greatness podcast. The host engages his basketball-obsessed audience on Reddit by sharing episodes in NBA team subreddits when they mention those teams. He doesn't overtly promote, but provides value by highlighting Redditors would find interesting, and he gets tons of listens in return. You can also build loyal listener communities outside the podcast world. Crime Junkie has a thriving Discord server with over 15,000 members discussing episodes. The key is getting strategic. Identify where your current audience hangs out online already. Then test content there to see what draws engagement. Focus on platforms where you can share exclusive extras that complement your podcast. Give listeners a reason to follow you into new communities. So extend your reach by repurposing content onto fast-growing platforms. And engage listeners in new environments tailored for discussion and connection. Just ensure you bring value to new communities when you join them. Today, we covered leveraging Reddit by providing value in communities aligned with your show, running creative contests and giveaways to generate buzz, partnering with other podcasters for cross-promotion opportunities, publishing exclusive interactive content to bring listeners to your website, and tapping into platforms like TikTok and Discord to extend your reach. Hopefully, you discovered some new innovative strategies to help grow your podcast. We'd love to hear if you implement any of these tactics for your show. Let us know how it goes. Want to dive deeper into podcast audience growth? Be sure to check out the resources on podderapp.com for more data-backed insights. And if you found this episode helpful, we'd really appreciate you leaving us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It helps us reach more podcasters just like you. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We're thrilled to be part of your podcasting journey. See you next time.